Another popular Roman emperor was Vaspasian. He ruled 69 to 79 AD, worked hard, lived in a stable relationship with a woman he loved, which was very odd. Typically, emperors liked having lots of women, and it was done for political reasons, not so much for love. He was considered a first-rate soldier, very smart and very knowledgeable. He built the Flavian Amphitheater, later known as the Colosseum, which is what we call it today. He did die in 79 AD, before the completion of the Colosseum. He died about a year and a half to 2 years before the Colosseum ended up opening, unfortunately. Trajan, if you recall from our video, he was mentioned in that video. He ruled from 98 AD to 117 AD. He built the Forum, or the new Forum, which we'll see in a moment, and created extensive restructuring of the Circus Maximus, the great arena for chariot races. He had a great reputation for being very effective. He expanded Rome militarily, but in the end he fell ill and died August 9th, 117 AD. Trajan was very loved. He liked building, but he was more interested in renovation and reconstructing, making things function the way they were supposed to function. He did do some creation of new things as well, but he didn't want to do so much expanding as much as holding on to what he already had. And here's kind of an outline of the forum that Trajan created, much bigger than the original forum. You got several temples. For example, one on the side here, Temple of Peace. On the other side, you've got the Forum of Augustus, which was kind of like a public arena. You got a Temple of Mars right there, another forum. Basically, all these different places. And again, these where it says forums, these are where places people could get together and talk and discuss the issues that were going on publicly. Granted, it is under an imperial rule, people were still allowed to speak their mind. And obviously on the top here, you've got Trajan's Market, like the mall as well. More temples down here, Temple of Romulus. So back then, religion and government worked hand in hand. You were expected before a meeting of the Senate, which still existed, to be praying to the different gods for strength in government. And a model, which we've kind of seen before, of Trajan's Forum, much bigger. And this is only a part of the forum. This is just the centermost piece of the forum. Here you've got, in the back side, those shops, the main forum here in the middle, a temple right there on the top left there. So, in the middle was this large column known as Trajan's Column, and it depicted his success in Dacia, which is basically the wars that he fought, the civil wars that he fought. And this is just a story from the bottom going all the way to the top, leading or showing the story of his battles. And this is what's left of Trajan's Forum today. Originally, this area was actually a mountain that had been dug into. And again, if you review the movie that we watched the other day, this goes into more detail about that. But this is what's left of it. All right. And back to some of the other emperors. We got Marcus Aurelius. He ruled from 161 to 180 AD. Very gifted general, expanded the empire. Philosopher, a very smart guy. He did fall ill and died on March 17th, 180 AD. And right at his death, the empire began to erode under his son Commodus, and leading to the end of Pax Romana. And here's a depiction of him, Marcus Aurelius, from the movie Gladiator. This is basically the end of the high point of Rome's successes. Result, Rome is officially an empire because of the battles of that guy again, Marcus Aurelius. Did a lot of conquering, expanded land very much, But again, this is the end, the beginning of the end for the strength of the empire. He was the last real guy that kept it all together. At Rome's peak, between 27 BC and 180 AD, that period of time was known as the Pax Romana, or the Roman peace. During this time, the entire empire's population was between 60 and 80 million, with about 1 million living in the city of Rome. Rome was held together through efficient means of government, started by Augustus. However, many terrible emperors would gradually weaken the empire over the next 400 years. Common coinage made trade easier. Because you've got one massive empire, all trading with one another, there needed to be a common usage of money. So they standardized the coin, so no matter where you went, the money was good, and it was equal, let's say in France, as it was in Atolla, for example. The money was good, it was the same value no matter where you went, everybody understood it, similar to the United States today. During these times, there's a phrase that ended up coming up, you might have heard of it, all roads lead to England, or all roads lead to Rome. The Romans built about 250,000 miles of roads. So many roads, the phrase came, all roads lead to Rome, because they created just so many roads. Another phrase, when in Rome, do as Romans do. You might have heard that phrase. However, not so much for this movie, which was kind of stupid in my opinion. The Republic becomes an empire still. 90% of the population were poor, and slavery was common. The Colosseum was used to distract the masses because of much the city was unemployed. Gladiator battles were popular for entertainment. However, the rich continued to live extravagantly. At the Colosseum, people could go, wasn't a big deal, didn't cost a lot of money, so anybody could really go and afford it and see and have a good time while they were there. But it kind of, unfortunately, was just a temporary fix. It got people in the right mood, happy, they're seeing this, they're having fun, but it was a shadow of the real problems going on during the time period. And once again, we have a picture of the movie Gladiator, which does a pretty good job of talking about that time period and what it was like to be a gladiator in the arena. And here we have just a Colosseum at Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas. So even though these empires are long gone, they still left their mark on. Finally, coming up in our next lesson, the works of Jesus of Nazareth and Christianity would forever change the world, even into today. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to ask Mr. Vincent. If you need to go back and review any of the materials, feel free. And I look forward to seeing you guys in class. Have a great day.